Dear friends, I am Dr. Divakar Gupta, Secretary, South Delhi Branch, IMA 2021. Welcomes you again to the next episode of Newsroom. We bring branch news to you. If you have anything to share with your fellow members, please make a video on your mobile and send it to us. That's simple. Today, what all we have, let's see. Let's start. Our President, Dr. Rajiv Wade, along with our past President, Dr. V.K. Narang, honored the Corona warriors at Indraprasth Apollo Hospital, New Delhi. This program was Doctors Month celebrated by DMA. Let's see the skirts.
In controlling this pandemic that we have all been suffering from, and I believe we will probably be under its spell for a while. We are talking about the flattening of the curve and all that, but I don't think it is something which is going to go away so easily. What I'm here for, I feel extremely humbled. I am here to honor those or to recognize the services of those whose services actually need no recognition. They are like the sunlight itself, shining bright, and everybody can see that. So today, I would be announcing certain names. There's a large list, sir. So what we will be doing is, I would just like to thank everybody in Apollo Hospital, right from the security staff and the janitorial staff, to the senior most consultant, the paramedical staff, the nursing staff, the people who manage your biomedical waste, the people who are taking care of all your floors and everything. I would like to thank all of them. I recognize the Delhi Medical Association, the Indian Medical Association, and the IMA South Delhi branch would like to place on record that we recognize your contribution to keeping this disease and this pandemic at bay. It is as if the hospital has become a center of excellence which has taken care of so many people who needed it most when they approached you. So we have Dr. Prachi. Is she here? Dr. Shahir. There has been a slight bit of a issue in the sense because of the rain, the printer could not deliver the certificates today. So today I will only be announcing the names, and the certificates I would request Dr. Subramanian to kindly present them all with my gratitude, the association's gratitude to all of you. So Dr. Prachi, Dr. Shahir, Dr. Rinki, Dr. Sneha, Dr. Varun, Dr. Harpreet, Dr. Himanshu Vast, Dr. Sagar, Dr. Surendra Dagar, Dr. Shreya Pandey, Dr. Saurav, Dr. Shweta, Dr. Ramesh, Dr. Abid, Dr. Dhara, Dr. Aparna, Dr. Fahad, Dr. Mukesh Mittal, Dr. Dinesh.
Now let's move to webinar, a new norm of CMEs or conferences during COVID time. It was organized by Fortis Escorts Okla. The topics were safe bariatric and advanced surgeries in COVID-19 era and liver transplant core concepts. The topics were well covered by Dr. Sanjay Verma and Dr. Arif Khan. They had lots of take-home messages. Unfortunately, the hospital has not shared the recordings, otherwise I would have mesmerized you with the fantastic tips. Dr. Grewal was the guest of honor, Dr. Kapil, Dr. S.K. Poddar and Dr. Ujjwal Vaid were the panelists. Dr. Rajiv Wade and Dr. R.K. Bakshi graced the occasion. It was attended by 35 members. Transfusion Export approached the Ministry of Health and took the first permission from the Drug Controller of India to use the plasma as therapy in COVID patient. Though this technique was well established in 1901 and even a Nobel Prize was given to the inventor, still this permission was given with lot of writers and this was called as a study. They did it and it was so successful that now all over the country plasma banks are being created. Who would be better than Dr. Sangeeta Pathak, the head of the blood bank, Max Hospital, Saket, to tell us about the plasma therapy. Let's hear.
The convalescent plasma has been a hot topic of discussion in the past few months, and even in India, people have tried it, and now, besides the trials, there is an off-label use of convalescent plasma as well, which has facilitated the use of it in different hospitals and is gaining quite a lot of popularity. And we used it first in India on 13th of April, and we've been using it since then. And if I look back upon this, then the convalescent plasma is not a new therapy, and it's being used for years together, though it has not come up the way it has come up in the COVID times. And lately, when I was just going through the articles, it was a therapy which was used even in Ebola times. So convalescent plasma therapy means what? It means that we are passively transfusing the antibodies. And when it is an artificial passive immunity being transferred to a sick patient who is suffering from COVID and from a person who has recovered from COVID. And in this, till the time the vaccine is not there, I suppose it is one of the very promising therapy that is coming up, and that the studies would be coming up slowly, and 2-3 studies already have been there, and we would also be publishing it soon. So in this, what we do, we take the first requirement of a donor is a positive lab diagnosed COVID report should be there. So the donor eligibility criteria for plasma donation for this particular convalescent plasma is that the donor should have a positive report of COVID and then a negative report on his discharge. Now, a negative report is a question because many of the rules have been changing, so he might not have a negative report. So now what we'll do, the day of discharge is counted as the day from which we'll count, and this should be from the day of discharge, minimum 14 days should be there. And if a negative report is not there, then we would do a repeat RT-PCR for the donor. If a negative report is there and minimum 14 days have happened, then or 28 days have happened, then we will not do a RT-PCR. The other test that we do when the donor comes are the IgG, means the antibodies, and the plasma protein. Once these two tests are done, and an RT-PCR also, if the negative test was not there, then we take the plasma donation, and the plasma donation, once the donor comes to the blood bank, all the eligibility criteria which are taken for blood donation are also considered, and then after that the basic criteria like the hemoglobin, there should be no history of any chronic illness, hypertension, diabetes, these are also taken into consideration, and all these criteria are looked upon, and once he is fit on that, after the HIV, HBV, HCV, syphilis, malaria testing, then we take the donor for the plasma donation. The donation is then taken, and a process which is known as plasmapheresis is done, in which the plasma is collected, the rest of the product are given back through the same needle to the donor bag, and 400 ml of plasma is collected. These are divided into 2 units of 200 ml each, and these are then freezed. If not used immediately, they are freezed at -80 degrees, so that we can then store the entire antibodies as well as the other coagulation factors which are there in this plasma. And once a demand comes, we thaw 200 ml of plasma and give it. The dosage is 200 ml of plasma in 24 hours. It can be repeated in 24 hours. The side effects for convalescent plasma remain the same as that of plasma that we use routinely, like the urticarial reactions and the allergic reactions, and these are very mild ones. And at times, if the plasma is collected from multiparous females, it can lead to TRALI, that is transfusion-related acute lung injury, and this can be prevented by not taking plasma from the female donors who are multiparous.
That's all for today. We'll catch up soon. Signing off, this is Dr. Divakar again. Stay safe, stay healthy.